What's up guys, Knifezoid here. I want to make a video on the reasons you have to go to BladeShow. Now it's February right now and BladeShow is not going to be till June 7th through 9th this year. So you might be wondering, why are you making this video so out in advance? The reason is because I talk to a lot of people and they're on the fence about going, and as you know, not everyone lives in Atlanta where the show is held. Some people come internationally, some people come from states that are further away. So to plan for a trip like that, you gotta take your time off, get your hotel arrangements. So I want to make the announcement early. I have this conversation with so many people in the community. Like, I'm thinking about going, I'm not really sure if I wanna go, just depends on work. And I tell every single person, because I've attended I think 4 times now. Last year was the first time we exhibited, so that was a little bit different, but I went the years before as well. And I didn't go for a while either. Even before BRS, just as a knife enthusiast, I had not gone. And when I went for the first time, I was just blown away by what an incredible experience it all is. It's really just overwhelming. There's so many things to see, so many things to do, so many people that you meet. It's really awesome. And after that, I was like, wow, I have been missing out. Like, this is a must-do thing if you are in any way interested in knives. It's just great to go. And even if you're just remotely into knives and you've never just been to like a big product-centered trade show, it's pretty awesome. Like, even if you're not as into knives as, say, someone like myself who has a company or whatever, or if you're just like a diehard flipper or a diehard collector, it's still really fun to go. But I had that conversation and everyone's on the fence, and I tell people across the board, you have to plan for this trip. You have to go. It's that much fun. It's that much of an experience. It's totally worth your time to take time to go. And I'm pretty sure that if you ask anyone who's attended, they're not going to disagree with that. Everybody has a great time. But I wanted to sell that a little bit further by going over the top 5 reasons that I picked out for going. Reason number 1 is to discover new products. I don't just mean new products that are coming out, but when you go to this show is huge. In fact, it's so big now that they had to utilize like a second ballroom to accommodate for all the exhibitors and knife makers and vendors. When you go to the show, you might have an expectation of what you're going to see, but when you actually enter the show floor, you're going to see products that you never would have thought that you would see. Completely new things. It's not just folding knives or just some camping knives. It's everything. There's also, in addition to knives, they have outdoor products and things of that nature, so that will be of interest to you. Just as an example, the last time I went, there was this vendor, I think it was like zombie knives or something, and the whole theme of their booth was knives and axes that were designed to kill zombies. And it was kind of cool. Like, I didn't know there was a company that just focused on kind of apocalyptic scenarios to use axes and machetes, but it was pretty awesome. Like, it was just different. They'll also have different tools and products that you didn't think that they made, like certain knife sharpeners, certain knife maintenance kits that you may not have heard of that are really going to be of huge benefit if you're a collector. They may fit your collection and what you need, and you'd be surprised of how diverse of a product set that is there. The number 4 reason is you're going to learn a lot. On top of all the new products that they have there, you're going to be able to ask certain questions and engage with brands in a way that is a little bit more difficult if you're just doing internet searches or on forums. You're also going to learn and see a lot of different types of makers and types of edge tools. For instance, they have a lot of people who make swords, and it's pretty interesting. Like, I've walked up to some of the sword and axe booths, and just talking to them, you just see a completely different philosophy on their approach to their making, to their business. And also you get to meet the actual makers and the companies in person, and in that you'll learn a lot about what drives their design, what drives them to make what they do and do what they do, what drives the company that you're buying the product from. I think that adds a lot of intrinsic value to the knife owning experience. When you actually meet the person who makes your knife or meet the company that makes your knife, it just adds that like personal touch to it. So the next time you engage with that company by whether it's buying their product or looking at their product or whatever the case might be, or just using the product, it just adds that level of depth and meaning to the experience of ownership, which I think is irreplaceable. And that's something you can really only get when you engage with them on a one-on-one and personal level. So just in that, like if you're already a knife owner, it sounds weird, but attending BladeShow just kind of makes you appreciate the products that you own that much more. The number 3 reason, of course, and this should be pretty obvious, it's the knives and the products. That is the reason why most people are going, is to buy and to look at products. But I also want to bring this up because I think that going in person to a knife show and having every single knife that you had your eye on or thought of or heard of at your disposal, to be able to touch them, handle them, and really see them in person can help you make a much more informed decision on if that product is right for you or not. It's just a much more involved and personal experience that you just can't get when you're shopping for knives off the internet or off a forum or buying something off Instagram, wherever the case might be. Being there in person with the product itself is just an amazing experience, and to have pretty much anything you can think of at your disposal is pretty awesome. The other reason it's really good to go there is there's a lot of products there that are prototypes and going to be released in the future that only companies and makers are going to show at BladeShow. They may not show it anywhere else because it's not quite in production. So you can kind of get an advanced peek into what's coming and what's up and coming for certain makers and certain brands, which is pretty cool. And also that way, when it does come out, you will already know if that knife is right for you or not, based on your experience by handling it well in advance. The number 2 reason I have, and this is one of my favorite, is the people. You're going to meet the knife community in person, in the flesh. It's really an amazing experience. I don't know about you guys, but being a knife enthusiast, you can sometimes be the black sheep in the crowd in like a family setting, in a social setting. Knives are generally misunderstood unless you have like tons of friends who are just into them. I don't. I'm pretty much by myself here when I'm at home in Jersey. I don't have a knife community, so to speak. So to go to a place where everyone is there for the same reason and is just as passionate and enthusiastic about knives as you are, is really amazing. You know, you feel right at home. Everyone's talking the same lingo. Everyone can understand your passion, and it's not weird or awkward or anything like that. You'll meet a lot of new people, a lot of new faces, which is one of the most rewarding experiences for myself. Meeting the customers is probably my favorite part of the show, is meeting people who've actually interacted with BRS and the brand. I just love interacting with their audience and seeing them face to face and shaking their hand. It's really awesome. As a consumer, it's really great to, again, meet your maker and meet the company owners or representatives face to face and engage with them on that level. In addition to meeting familiar faces, you're also going to probably run into, if you follow other YouTube channels that do knife reviews, or other YouTube channels that might be like an outdoor channel or whatever the case is, a lot of those people come to this show to cover new products or just attend in person to meet other people. So you're going to probably run into familiar faces of people who run other YouTube and social media channels, and meeting those people in person, again, makes your interaction in following their channel and their content that much more of value, because now you have a personal connection to them, and that to me is also a very rewarding experience. So the number 1 reason that you should go to BladeShow is that it's fun. It's an amazing time. I tell, again, from the beginning of this video, I tell everybody you're going to have a good time. There's no way you're not going to have a good time. It's a blast. Atlanta itself is a really cool city. There's a lot to do around the area, and it's really cool to go and eat at restaurants and do different things around town with other knife enthusiasts. It's just a great experience. It's definitely not in any way a boring city. There's a ton to do there, a ton to see. So that is definitely amazing. There's also what's known as the Pit. This is where people meet after the show in the large hotel lobby. People just fraternize, socialize, and they hang out down there. It's a great place to just kind of talk with other knife enthusiasts, talk with certain people that you know, or new people that you just met. It's just a great area, a great positive social environment for knife enthusiasts. Overall, just an amazing time. Again, I guarantee that if you go, you are not going to have a bad time. You're going to have a great time. It's a lot of fun. So really give it some thought, guys. I hope that this video kind of helps encourage you to at least consider making plans to go to the show. We definitely hope to see all of you guys there. We're already, I get excited about BladeShow the day it ends. I'm already excited for the next one. And this show for BRS, we're going to have 2 booth spaces and a lot more engaging activities and also some new product reveals. So we hope to see you out there. As always, thanks for watching, and go to BladeShow.